Yeah, let's see. In the waiting room, we have 4 people.
At 6 o'clock, go ahead and call the meeting to order. We're beginning with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Reister.
Here.
Wyatt.
Here.
Cook. Sewell.
Here.
Lawson is absent.
He's executed. We're doing a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda. I wanted to make note that we have on there the time for the trick or treating on October 31st from 5:30 to 7:30. We'll be moving into the regular city council meeting of October 13th to October 14th due to the because of Columbus Day. So, do I have a motion? Second. Any questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mayor's comments on accommodations. I just want to welcome everybody tonight. So thanks for coming. We'll move into citizens' requests and oral presentations. I believe I've got Shannon. If you want to state your name and address.
Okay, Shannon Ingemels, 208 Beverly Boulevard. I'm just here basically, again, I think I said at last meeting, normally I trust the process, but process isn't always working. So been just kind of trying to be here and be a citizen and be knowledgeable of everything that's going on. I did attend the August 25th Administration and Finance and Personnel Committee, where I was very concerned. I kind of started talking about this at the council meeting.
That in light of our financial concerns that one of the committee members on that committee had proposed an increase for department heads. I believe it originally was proposed that way. Basically, if you look in the minutes, this agenda for the city council, the August 25th minutes are there to be approved. It says Mike Youngblood motions to recommend an increase for chief banks and all department heads for an increase, feeling concerned that the wage gap within the departments of inflation was a concern. So I was at that meeting. I saw that discussion happen. My understanding is that the final motion was actually to only request an increase for the police chief. And so we discussed this, and I think the council and our city clerk, they have told me they are going to pull that agenda for approval, to go back and listen to the tapes to get that reviewed. So I don't believe that will be up for those minutes approved this evening. And then also table the request for the 3% increase in wage for the police chief. And the only reason I wanted to point this out, like I said, we just had that discussion. I just wanted to talk about how having citizens involved and having these discussions is productive. And so I think we're all concerned about the financial situation we're in. And I think we just kind of need to keep eyes and ears open and available. And I just encourage others to get involved and, make sure they're reading the minutes that if you were at a meeting and something looks different, say something. Basically, if you see something, say something. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next I have Sue Little.
Hello, Sue Little, 117 Michelle. 2 weeks ago, I came to the council with data that was compiled based on previous data sheets posted on the City of Hudson website, council meeting packets. Specifically, those data sheets were provided by the Hudson Police Department over the last 5 months. I analyzed and spoke about the reported calls for service line item on those reports. In that statement, I also did mention that there were other tasks officers stay busy with, such as traffic stops, business checks, and vacation watches, but that was not my main focus. There are two very specific and separate line items on those reports that you received. In a recent Hudson Police Department Facebook post, those two line items were combined and then referenced together as a total call for service, which is different than the council reports I referenced and is a different representation of data. I publicly stand behind the data that was analyzed, and the statement that staffing considerations should be based on that first line item, calls for service, not the combined number. Both are very good data points, but very different information and very different tasks. I hope that the council continues to expect and require both of those items to continue to be presented for transparency and discussion. I also continue to offer my time if you'd further like analysis completed. My aim with that analysis provided 2 weeks ago was to give the council and community my understanding of what 24/7 coverage can look like from a different perspective in order to remain fiscally responsible and prevent officer burnout. I hope other community members feel empowered to come to the council with their own ideas. The first thing before any decisions are made is to re-examine the budget as promised when it was approved. But officer-initiated items should not be used to justify staffing, because then you're gonna run into quotas, which is illegal in Iowa. Thank you.
Next I have Cody.
What a treat. We better get our timer. I'm gonna make this short tonight. There are a couple of main points that I would like to handle pretty quickly. The first thing is that I'm pretty confident most people here are very unaware of is the over $8,000 in late fees that were paid to Hudson Hardware Plumbing and Heating last month. When Gail was questioned about that, Gail said I would have to look into it. Wasn't really even aware of these late fees. These are specifically late fees, not a bill for anything else, including a $40,000, $69,000 water main bore. We'll talk about that in a moment. These types of things need to be removed. Let me reset here, folks. These things need to be reviewed deeply, and these situations need to be analyzed, and decisions need to be made in regard to the continued business with those contractors. I don't think that the contractor is wrong, but I do think that if we don't make decisions like any other business would, and we continue to just give business to people because of who they are, and we don't analyze what exactly is being billed and why we are giving them that money, we're going to run into problems like paying $8,000 in late fees. Again, I'm not even saying that they are not authorized to charge those late fees. I don't think they're wrong for charging the late fees necessarily. I disagree with them, but they have the right to do so. But you, as a government, have a right to make decisions based on that sort of information. You can make a decision to go with a different company once. You can make a decision to negotiate. You can make a decision to say, hey, maybe we don't have to pay those fees, and we could make them up in another way with a project, whatever it is. I don't care, but I think that the fact that we don't even question it and we just write a check for approximately $8,300 is a big problem. Following that, we've been made aware that this government paid for a water main in a private development that never had a development agreement, according to the city clerk. In my opinion, that's unacceptable. I don't know the entire process in which a development agreement is required, but I believe if we're spending $69,000 on a water main bore, we should probably have some sort of agreement that says why or where it's going. And not just paying $69,000 with $8,000 with early fees without asking a question, considering the fact that we're in a deficit, a presumed deficit. Um. I don't even know if you know this, but you wrote a check for $4,600 on the wetlands project. I've asked you questions about it, not heard anything back, whether we can delay it, anything, and you wrote another check for $4,600, and I don't even think you know that. We don't know our budget, we have a perceived deficit, and we decided to spend money on things like a wetlands project, a new police truck, a new fire truck, which I don't disagree with, necessarily, but we're deciding to spend all of this money. We're deciding to spend money on a water main bore, and tonight we're gonna have a conversation, or at least the council is gonna have a conversation about giving your police chief a 3% raise, when as far as I'm concerned, he's on the rocks. And if you give him that raise, I'd be pretty disappointed in that. I have in my notes to ask if any other department heads got a 3% raise. Pretty confident none of them did, based on conversations tonight, so the question is not necessary. What was the meeting? 25th?
Yeah,
In the meeting on the 25th that she referenced, your own city administrator advised that you do not give a raise to a department head, specifically the police chief, given the circumstances and the finances of the city. And Lori, Daryl, is that it? Decided to vote,
Mike,
and Mike voted yes, we should push it to the council to vote on whether or not we should give him a raise. Gail voted no. Somebody else abstained.
Todd Henderson.
Todd Henderson, thank you. I can put more things together and come up here and speak, but I don't believe that it's really getting anywhere. I think that the public maybe is appreciative of the fact that somebody's willing to say things that maybe are a little aggressive, maybe. But the fact that our city council does nothing to respond to anything the community asks them is very disappointing. I think that maybe you should start talking. So, thank you.
wow, that was like right on the button.
Pretty good. I knew I had to waste all the time.
I was ready to say time's up, but we did it.
All right, next I have Debbie.
I'll go fast. On tonight's agenda is an action item.
Before you go,
Oh,
a name.
I'm sorry, I should know this. Debbie Larson.
Okay.
I live at 109 Terrace Drive here now. On tonight's agenda is an action item from the Personnel Committee recommending a 3% wage increase for only one city employee. How can this wage increase be justified to other city employees? I've heard the phrase, "We hate to lose good people," is a statement that applies to all our city employees. For the fiscal year 2026, 40% had to be cut to balance the budget, and it was decided then that no raises would be given. For many council meetings, the message has been very clear. Careful spending is necessary since we don't have real numbers. Where will this extra 3% come from? So I ask you, please think how giving only one employee a raise will look to the rest of the city employees and the community. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Okay. We'll move on to committee reports. It should have been listed that we have the report of the Admin Personnel Finance Committee minutes from August 25th, but we need to review those, and so we will delay in having discussion on that. And the building inspection report then is just informational item there for you in the packet. So we'll go ahead and move on to general government. Item A, request from Admin Personnel and Finance Committee recommending 3% increase in wage for police chief. Since we don't have we need to update our minutes, I'm looking for a motion to table this tonight.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
can discuss anything about related to this?
Well, we're moving to table it, so no, we won't have,
Not until we.
not until we actually.
But I mean, if this is the item on the agenda that we're tabling, I can talk about why I want to table it, right?
You can talk about why you want to table it,
Okay.
yes, but not,
Yep, okay, so, first of all, I was taking a look at these minutes and I've got a bunch of questions. And it's helping me understand why I would vote the way I'm gonna vote here in a second. And it might sound like I'm picking on people. I'm not. I have no beef with anyone personally. I do have a concern about our budget. That's what's driven a lot of my questions the last few months. In the minutes, it says that the motion carried 5-0.
Yeah, that was one of the things that was gonna be amended.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, the issue was raised here. Was the motion that Chief Banks and all department heads get the raise, or?
Motion was presented, so like I said, I'm like, she's right, she's 100% caught that, and there is more to this, and it's why I need to listen to it, because I did 3 sets of minutes in one afternoon.
Okay.
and I apparently missed.
Okay, that's fair. Another question I have, again, nothing personal. Mike Youngblood was here several months ago advocating for the chief on a contractual issue. At what, and this might be a question for Heather, who's not here. At what point does an employee's attorney advocating for that employee to get a raise become a conflict of interest?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's something we've mentioned here in discussion that we will get hold of her on that.
great. And I'll give the benefit of the doubt. I don't know exactly what the conversation was, but I've been in committee meetings where I have voted to advance something to the council that I didn't necessarily believe in because I wanted the broader council to have a discussion. And so I'm guessing that might be some of the motive with my colleagues over here. If not, I just think it's a really, really tone deaf time to be asking for a 3% raise for the police chief. I mean, like very high levels of what are we thinking to even ask the question? That's all I've got I've got a lot more if we were gonna actually talk about voting on the measure, but we're just tabling it, so I'll stop there.
Anything else? Roll call?
Wyatt.
Aye.
Cool.
Aye.
Reister.
Okay, that item is tabled. We'll move on to item B, resolution. I'm sorry, I got a smudge on my. Is it 3-2 or 3-3? 8-8, thank you. I'm to close the street for the Chamber of Commerce Business Boo October 30th, 2025 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
So moved.
Have a second? Okay. Discussion? Roll call?
Cool. Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Item C, resolution 3389 to approve ACOM to serve as the City of Hudson Planning and Zoning Administrator. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? So this is just.
I have a question. I was just gonna say, this is on a contractual basis, right? By need, not necessarily like a full-time obvious payment.
Correct. It's as they do our engineering services, that we get hold of them when we need them to, fulfill that duty. So that's what this would be then for planning and zoning.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Any other discussion? Roll call?
What's
Oh,
this
go ahead.
gonna cost us then total?
Well, it's not like, I can't say, okay, it's gonna be another $10,000. We don't know. It's just on a per need basis.
Basically just designating who will.
Who will, yes.
Do we know if there was a contracted or an hourly rate for that we can find out and we can put out to the public for that?
I don't know if there is. We'd have to go back and probably look at all the other,
I saw
agreement?
something with,
I'm looking at it right
came out in the Facebook thing, but it said up to $25,000 in a year or something.
Usually it's a not to succeed number.
right?
Or not to exceed
Not to
number.
exceed.
Yeah.
Might be good if we just ask them what they charge us hourly so that we know, or have that on record so that we can, crack that a little bit and not overspend anything we need to.
Are you having any luck, Julie?
Yep, compensation. Compensation for the above services will be on an hourly basis in accordance with Exhibit C. And it is, the total compensation is an estimated fee which shall not exceed $25,000 without authorization from the client. So once they hit 25,000, they will.
But it doesn't say what the hourly,
Yeah, the 125
I'm
or-
actually, now that it says, I
No.
don't see the Exhibit C. So there is no Exhibit C.
Are we still in discussion?
Yes.
So I'm in two different places on this right now. Number one is I'd be inclined to support it just because you gotta have an engineer. And they've done our work and they know, I mean, if we're gonna go somewhere else, it would require a lot of backfilling of information to that other vendor. On the other hand, if we don't have Exhibit C and they didn't send us Exhibit C, I could see tabling this. Until
I was
we have
thinking-
Exhibit C.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Matt, that it's not the engineering part that I'm worried about because we already knew that from before. It's the zoning portion. And that's something that fell on our previous administrator that we are peeling off of this. But until we know that amount, are we in a hurry that we couldn't table this and wait until we get that and approve this at the next meeting?
Well,
We do have a lot going on right now. We
yeah,
probably
because
could wait 2 weeks, but I think that there is something Steve is waiting, I mean, like, I just can't handle it all, like, I can't do planning and zoning.
yeah. No, and you're not expected to. That
Right.
was the previous role of the city administrator, but not of the clerk.
Right,
So,
What's the
Two-
bottom line? Do we need a planning and zoning administrator like right now? or
Yeah, we have-
something? What?
yeah, I mean, we do.
yeah.
What would this set us back in 2 weeks, though? I mean, is there anything
I don't know
that's,
that it would, I don't know, I mean, what are your feelings, Gail?
It's just then we can't move forward with a couple of projects, which then things aren't getting on the tax.
Can we approve, using them to go forward on these projects? Can we just hire them for these two projects? And then have this,
I mean, the agreements for, I mean, the entire scope of the service, so, I mean, what we can do is, if you would like, we can motion to approve with the exception of, I can send you guys, I can get Exhibit C and then get you Exhibit A and B too, like with, and, contingent on what that information says, and then we can move forward. I can do that tomorrow.
And if you want to table it, I would be fine with that as well.
could we table it and vote online, like in 2 days?
you'd have to hold a complete special meeting for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, so.
But I do think, I mean, with where we're at, I hate to push anybody back, but to blankly approve without a rate is just kind of not where everybody should be at right now.
I can go with that.
So if we can, I mean, if we could wait, if there's an emergency thing and we need to call a special meeting to get something approved in the next 2 weeks, then we do it. But if it's a matter of just waiting 2 weeks and we'll get the rate approved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like 3 weeks, but that's fine.
So we got a motion on the table, right?
We do,
So we
but I
got-
would take a motion to table it.
So do we need to vote this motion down
No,
and then table it
you can just go ahead and do a motion to table it.
in the middle of this?
Yep.
Okay, so I move that we table it.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call?
Cool. Aye. Reister.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Cook.
Okay. That item is tabled. Informational items, you'll see in the packet there. Regularly scheduled meetings held at council chambers, Public Works, October 8th at 7 a.m., I'm sorry. Personnel admin, October 27th at 4:15. Public Safety Committee meeting, September 25th at 4 p.m. Next council meetings will be Tuesday, October 14th, and Monday, October 27th.
Move to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you.
My fingers.
Sorry about this moment. Sorry I missed the meeting. We have a sick kid, so parents got pulled in opposite directions.
Yeah, I know, I just making sure I didn't typo yet. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, no problem.